members who are out sick, and regret that we've had to miss a meeting in one previous meeting, and that the fact that we did move a meeting has been due to sickness, but we do have a quorum here tonight. So if you would please stand, and we'll have the invocation. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for the many wonderful blessings in life that you give us. Heavenly Father, our world is in a terrible state of affairs currently. We've got a rogue nation attacking innocent people, mothers, children, fathers. And it is so sad to see that, those events going on right now. Heavenly Father, we ask that you please step in at this time and give our country the strength to stand up and do the right thing to help stop this world situation. Please do not let it escalate. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this river. We thank you for these rains. We thank you for all the things that we have here. We ask that you continue to guide us and help us do a good job protecting your natural world here, the environment, and that we all as a community and friends can live together, work together, and hopefully we can stop a lot of this evil that's out here, that is spread out here, the lies, the rumors. Let us come together, Heavenly Father, and work together to protect our community and our neighborhood. It is our neighborhood, and we should all work together to make it great. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Nikki, if you could give us the roll call,
Okay.
please.
Terry Hester. Here. Nikki Olson. Here. Our interim secretary just temporarily was Carol, and she's not here tonight. Victoria M. here. Glenn Hunter.
Here.
Tom Trammell.
Here.
Sammy King.
Here.
Sebastian Johnson. Here. Joe Mano. Here. John Bryant is out sick. Vonda Ackerson is out sick. Charlie Thompson.
Here.
Phil Ray is out sick. Tony Matthews.
Here.
Charlie Arnett's out sick. Lisa Kirby is an alternate. She's not here. Rick Tom.
Here.
Thank you. Mary Brayler.
She called in sick.
Okay. Sick. Okay.
So we actually have four: Charlie Arnett, Vonda, John Bryant, and Phil Ray, and Mary Brayler called in sick. So I'd request the board to approve these or excuse these members.
I make a motion we excuse these members.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Also, John Bryant has been in the hospital for a while and needs a little extra prayer for John. He's worked very hard for us. Apparently he's had a bad case of pneumonia. I don't know any more than that, but not a good thing. He's been dealing with that. They had to do a procedure on him. And Charlie Arnett is actually having a very hard time also with some cancer and with his lungs and some pneumonia. So I want to pray for them as we go forward. Is there any more seats in the back?
One more.
Okay. And then we've got an extra chair here. Okay.
Mr. Baker, can you sign in, please?
Okay, so board members, you have an agenda in front of you, so I'm having ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion we approve the agenda.
Motion by Charlie,
Second.
second by Tommy. Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, I guess I should have pointed out that I do have an error on the agenda. I do have approved the September minutes. Been running around and just kind of missed that one, so it would be the February minutes. Board members, are you okay with let's changing that to the February minutes? Any board members have any issues with that? Okay, so who will do the minutes?
I was going to ask
Okay,
that Hilda be approved for interim secretary, that she's a member and a property owner, and she lives here.
Okay, so you've, board members, Hilda, you willing to do that? You sure? Okay. Okay, so,
You want me to just stay here and take the minutes, or?
well, we'd like for you to sit up here with us if you would. If you're more comfortable back there, that's fine.
That's fine.
We have a chair just for you.
Okay, so we, I guess, board, we should approve that. That was a recommendation by the president. So do we have a motion to approve Hilda filling in as secretary? Motion by Sammy. Is there a second? I got a second by Rick. His hand was up first, Tommy. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We will move on to Secretary's report. You have the minutes?
I do. We distributed the minutes on the email to the board. Did everybody get those? Okay. There was a recommendation by Rick to change on the, under new business, it shouldn't say accommodation, it should say commendation? Commendation. So we're gonna make that change in two places. And then, since Carol Strickland is not a board member, we're gonna, I don't know if we should remove her name from the first page under who was here last month, or just mark her as interim secretary? Or should I just remove her altogether?
It's whatever your pleasure is. I wouldn't remove her. She did such a good job there, so,
So maybe we should just indicate interim?
yes, that'd be,
secretary? Yes,
that's,
Joe?
that's good.
I have a disagreement with the minutes.
Okay,
They never really had a full set of minutes, never accommodated the discussion that Mr. Hunter had with one of our property owners. And I thought it was handled poorly the way it was handled, but it should be at least referenced in our minutes, as everyone that was here was alert of what was going on, and it was not handled quite properly.
Okay, thank you, Joan. Joan's
I'd
made
like that
a,
amended.
she'd like to have that amended. Is there any board member that would wish to agree or disagree or have that amended? Okay, so the minutes will stand as they are. Is there any, so we'll have a motion then to approve the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Mr. Trammell?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second? Sammy, you were the second there, so is there any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
You know it,
Okay,
I'm
so
opposed.
motion
They are not
passes.
true minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. Vicki?
Okay, we handed out the treasurer's report. It was also, I think it was included on an email, but we made copies for all the board members. Everybody have it on the board?
We do.
Okay. The checking account balance in Drummond, and our regular checking account is $21,858.01. Our reserve account, which is a savings account, is $50,009.79. Where's that sign-in sheet? Ma'am, could you sign in for us, please? And could you sign in for us? Okay.
She'll get me.
Okay, good, thank you. And our Drummond's checking account for new membership for 2022 is $58,058.42, for a total of $129,926.22. Monthly, our checks were $3,182.50. The auto drafts were $592.67. So our total expenditures were $3,775.17. And our interest in the regular checking was a big whopping 18 cents. Our deposits under membership checking was $4,427. And our electronic deposits, which would be membership signing up on the web, is $6,470. So our total deposits for February was $10,897.18. Any questions?
Yes, Hilda?
I have a question as to whether I need to record those or whether, because you have that information, that can stay out of the minutes.
I think in the past, it's been mentioned, some of the highlights of the balances in the accounts.
Okay,
And
so-
total expenditures. You don't have to break it down.
So you and I will just need to email so I get the right numbers.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. Ask and you shall receive. And I'm helping you in the beginning. I don't know if you got all the approvals and everything, but I wrote it down.
Sammy, you have a question?
You wanna get a key or you get some more chairs for these people? Back it up. Payphone? Unlock it.
I'm okay. All right, we're about to.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here too long, so you're good, you sure?
We're good.
All right. Are you good, sir?
I'm okay.
Okay,
I don't know.
all right. Vicki, you have anything else to report on finances?
The only other thing I was gonna mention, do you wanna approve that first before I go on to something else?
Well, did you want to discuss anything else as it relates to any other budget items, or is that,
No, sir.
that's it? Okay.
Not unless there's a question.
Go ahead and we'll prove that, the dollar amounts or the finance
Okay.
report. If it's related to finance, we'll do that this
Okay.
last. Go ahead.
All right, so in the past, our business card ads in the newsletter, we were only collecting like $15 for those. A quarter page was 30, a half a page was 45, and I had some recommendations on increasing that amount going forward. The business card ads, I was going to suggest that we increase that to 20, keeping the business card ad a lower price because of small business people. It's usually a member that lives here that's working out of their home that doesn't have a lot of income. Quarter page, I was going to recommend that we increase that from 30 to 50, and a half a page from 45 to 100. Some of our members that have advertised a half a page were like Drummond Bank, Country Realty, so I felt like that they would probably not balk at increasing their ad to 100. We have a lot of exposure, we have over 900 members.
Well, based on that ratio, if a business card size, you're talking about $20. So if you actually added that up for the number of business card sizes that would go into a half page, that would typically only be 5 cards. From a value standpoint, it should be a little bit more for the half page, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost recommend that being about 200, maybe 150 to 200.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're probably going to get, on a business card size, on half, you're probably going to get what, maybe 12 or 15. So that'd be $250 or $300 on that same size. And when you're calculating what it costs to produce the newsletter, you're really losing money at $100 on a half page.
Okay.
I hadn't studied that, but I know a little bit about that, and
Right.
that's how that works. So that might be a consideration if you want to keep the 8th page at 20 for a full page. Based on the amount of revenue you generate off that, you would actually easily pay for the cost of production. But on a half page, you probably wouldn't at 100.
Okay.
So, any board members have any thoughts about the half page?
How often does the newsletter come out?
We usually do it every quarter, but we have skipped a few, so it could be 3 times a year, 4 times a year.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Don't dive into it too deep. So, what are your thoughts? I mean, really?
My thoughts? You talking to me?
No, I'm sorry.
Cost is bad?
Yeah. I would recommend you go to $200 on a half page myself. For the exposure that some of these folks that we do business with, quite a bit of business with, you should easily be able to get that, and it would more than pay. It would help pay for that.
And we know postage is going up, and we know that all of the printing is going to be going up, so.
Everything's going up, so
Sure.
I think it'd be a perfect time to go up.
Right.
Do you have a quarter page ad price?
Do I?
Is there a quarter page
Right now, it's a quarter page is at 30, is what
Okay.
we charged the last time.
Yeah, I would put that at 150 or 125. I put it 125 and 200 on the half, and then you're trying to work with a community down here for little small businesses. $20 will still work on the business card. That's my opinion. So y'all beat that up.
Opinions, ideas.
Sounds great to me.
You need a motion till we change the price?
This is the treasurer's report. She's, you good with that?
I'm good with
Okay,
that.
since
Whatever
we-
the board decides is good with me.
Okay,
can
then we
enforce
would be, it would be in order for a motion.
Then I'll make a motion to change the pricing of the advertising.
Okay, and we have a second?
I'll second it.
And the motion is 200 on the half page, 125 on quarter, and then the business card sizes would be 20.
And we also had decided that there would not be any full-page ads because of the
Right.
adding the weight to the newsletters and taking up the extra space. It really, it's expensive for us.
Correct, and we have had some folks pushing to do color, and that's just out of the, that's out of the ballpark. I don't think we really want to get into that
No, we don't.
this time, so. Okay, so we have a motion with Sammy and a second by Tommy Matthews. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we do need to approve the treasurer's report, since I didn't have that as on there as the item, so need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I move that we approve the treasurer's report.
Motion by Tommy Matthews, second by Tommy Trammell. And is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Okay.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. We'll move on to Terry. You've got quite a few things, I think, to discuss. So the the president's report.
Okay, I talked to Big John yesterday, he told me to contact Colonus and have the porta potties secured, they will be doing that tomorrow. Also, Wolf's Plumbing was out here the other day and fixed the bathroom, and I wish the members would quit popping the bathrooms open because they're really getting into a mess. But I don't know how to keep them.
Let me ask a question in regard to that. And Charlie, do we have any cameras that are facing the bathroom doors?
We have a camera where anybody that comes to the walkway that splits to the cameras, we can see them, but we're not looking at the doors specifically.
Okay. Because it's gotten to be it's gotten to be a real bad problem with the doors left open, because everybody is constantly just running through. Kids are coming through playing and whatever, as opposed to being controlled by a key.
Yeah.
So, and it's getting to be kind of expensive because they're really doing quite a bit of,
Yeah, and that boy's bathroom was in a bad shape. I couldn't even go in there, I'll be honest with you.
right, and they're stuffing a lot of stuff there. So I'm just wondering, is that some measure we need to take a look at, refocus the camera or something to see? Because if that's the case, and these are supposed to be only members or their guests that are invited, it could be that if we're going to continue to have this, we may want to have to sanction a member, from the parks if they're going to allow their guests or themselves to do damage. I'll throw that out. Don't want to get into a whole lot on this, but it's getting to be kind of old,
Yeah.
and season's coming up right now.
Okay, I also got a call from a member saying the lot was broke at Fishing Park, that we need to repair it.
Camping.
No, she said Fishing Park.
That lock is just a personal lock out there.
Yeah.
We've never put a maintenance lock
Well,
on
she
it.
said it was broke,
The one at camping is broke too, by the way.
Yeah, we knew
What's
about
that?
that.
The one at camping is not there at all.
Okay, Terry, so we'll get together on those locks then. I know John's out, but I know you're communicating with him, so.
Yeah.
And let me just go back to the point about the bathrooms. Is there any way it can be visually looked at with a camera? I know we've got 2 or 3, or should we even consider that?
I could move a camera if that is what everyone would like. I mean, if you come in, When you walk through, you get your concrete wall on either side, you walk through and then you go left or right.
Right.
If you walk through that opening, I can see you, but I
Okay.
can't actually see the door.
Okay.
So that's up to everybody. I'll re-aim them however you guys see fit.
Is it,
You can't put it on the side looking this direction so you would get the doors, not inside, but the outs.
I can make it where we can see the doors if that's what everybody wants.
It's not inside, so it's not
No.
invading
It's
privacy.
not inside.
I think that's the solution.
Does that take away from the front or no? Front gate?
No, not at all.
Okay.
My only question is, how do you identify the person who did it? Because you don't know what time it happened.
You'll see
But
them
you-
propping it open with the
Probably
doors
no, but
in.
yeah.
We could catch somebody propping the door open.
Oh.
We'll do it.
I was gonna say, the ones that doing the vandalism
That's-
to the bathroom.
that'd be kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The only other way, well, you'd have to put an alarm on the door.
Right.
Propped or whatever.
It's just one of those, it's
Yeah, I know.
unfortunate that it costs the organization,
It's-
association a lot of money at the end of the year when you look at the damage done. And all it does, the more that they do, the more they do. If we can maintain
I've
it.
caught people doing things, I've said something to
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and I get the, usual FU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be able to resolve some of that this evening, so we're gonna work towards the next level. So, you wanna make an attempt to do the first step? Let's just do a first step, see if we can send something this way, and we may see some
Absolutely.
activity. We'll
Sure.
do that as
Make that happen.
a stop. Yeah, y'all good with that? Board? Okay. Okay, Terry?
DJ Chris will be having a karaoke 2 to 5 on the 19th. Okay, also the pavilion that we're replacing at Point Park, the building will be delivered not this week coming up, but the following week, so I'll need to have them, that one board or 4x4, whatever, and the fence taken down, both of them, so they can get in there with the building.
Okay, they're gonna take the other building down, or they're gonna leave it up temporarily?
We're gonna leave it up temporarily until we get the new one up.
Okay.
Then we're gonna, I guess, I'm gonna get volunteers to take the old one down.
Okay.
So
And
who's gonna be taking down part of the fence? Just so they can get in there? Who's doing that?
When is he gonna, arrive?
they're gonna try to, I'm gonna be out of town next week, so they're gonna try to deliver it the week after, so I'd have to get with you on a specific day.
Okay, so you need that one side taken down so they can bring the truck in to deliver.
Yeah.
But the guy that's gonna erect
No,
it,
the
he's gonna
guy-
erect it, he's not gonna be coming in with the delivery, is that correct?
No,
So
he's
that's,
also gonna need it down too, so we're gonna have to leave it.
right, well, he can take it down, is what I'm saying. If he was
Yeah.
the one delivering, that would be
Okay.
very easy. We're gonna need to coordinate that delivery real close so we don't have to leave the gate open, so
Okay.
we'll do that.
There's
Okay, anything
signage
else?
on that building, the little sign that I had printed up,
Okay,
so we need
save
to
that.
save that. If you
Okay,
want me to go ahead and take it down,
we'll do that.
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Okay, anything else,
And
Terry?
The fish fry, April the 9th, it's right around the corner.
Okay, did you want
I
to,
think
we've
they
got
have-
that, to discuss that, under,
New business?
yeah, but do you want to go
Okay,
ahead and, we can
okay.
move that there right now if you want, since that's
Okay.
something you'll be heading up more than likely.
We're gonna be having the April the 9th, I need help putting the tent up on the 8th. I need volunteers to help set up for the fish fry and serve food, and members can bring desserts. After we eat, we're gonna eat at 12:30, after we eat, we're gonna be having an Easter egg hunt for the members' children. And then from 2 to 4, we're gonna be having a bluegrass band, called the Flatlanders, right?
Florida Flatlanders.
Florida Flatlanders, so it's
So-
trying to be a really good day.
So the bluegrass group, what time are they going to start?
2 o'clock, 2 to 4.
2 o'clock, okay.
So should volunteers that wanna help with the tent or any of the serving contact you?
Yeah, yeah.
What time are you gonna be starting to do the tent?
The tent, when you putting that up on the Friday before?
We usually do it around 5 o'clock.
On Friday, on April the 8th.
Last time people just showed up.
Okay.
Right, that's true. We usually do it at 5 o'clock.
Okay, so, okay, this is the fish fry. Do you have a dollar amount that, what have we been charging for the fish fry?
Okay. Lana said $8.50
I'm glad
for
other people do
the,
that. I do it all the time.
$8.50 for the adults and $4 for the children. We're gonna keep the children at 4.
Okay, so it's $8.50 adult. And children are 4. And what's a child? Because I've seen some big kids.
I would say that goes to what, 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's about it right now.
Okay, we also are getting a quote to expand the little pavilion here so we can actually have a little more folks under that pavilion and work on getting rid of the picnic tables, moving those out of that area so it can be a little bit easier to maneuver. Come up with a different design on that, but we're going to work on the pavilion. As soon as he gets that one done at Point Park, we'll come back and take a look at this one.
Okay, yeah,
All
we
right.
talked about that.
So
Will
go
that be
get-
done before the fish fry?
No.
No, okay.
Anything else, Terry?
Oh, yeah, and Tommy's came up some really nice looking signs,
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy, we'll let you do that with the communications committee report, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's what I
So-
gotta do.
Okay. Oh, you're doing that too, so you, okay, well, do you have anything else? You've done the maintenance and the president's report since John's out. Is there anything else you have on those?
Okay, put on this other hat now.
Okay.
Okay. Membership, in February was 366 on Columbia. This month it's 466. Swanee was 108 in February. This month it was 151. So a total, last month we had 474 members, and the total this month we have 617 members. Which
Okay.
really from, the total membership of last year is only a difference of 327 members right now.
That's good.
Uh,
Okay.
I think we're moving right along with the membership, and everybody has, all keys have been sent out and mailed out up to this day.
All keys are up to
We only have
date?
3 sets of keys need to be mailed out at this time.
Great, great. You have anything else?
Here,
That's it. That's
How
all I
about,
got.
how about the signs with Tommy?
My turn?
I have a question.
Yes.
I did get the numbers of the membership.
There's a total of 617 members, 466 for Columbia and 151 for Swan.
Thank you.
Okay.
And all the keys are issued, current?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
very
got
good.
3, but they ain't in these numbers.
Okay. Okay, Tommy?
On the signs, a long time ago, we decided we wanted to have entrance signs. One at 27 and Utah, and the other down near Pope's Grocery. There used to be Pope's Grocery. And since then, we've got an additional sign to the Swanee County side, which would be off of 27 on, I don't know the number of it.
37 place drive.
So, I've just passed them around, these are the, what they look like, and, I want to get y'all's okay on that before I proceed.
Also, we talked about, this is, if it's your first time into this neighborhood, you're more than likely going to get lost. So we talked about these signs for the locations that we have basically 4 locations. So we thought we would go ahead and create a number 1 on the sign for this location on the sign. And then Utah would be number 2, Pope's would be 3, and we'll have Swanee at 4. So if you're trying to describe to someone that there's a Three Rivers Estate sign for the entrance, how to get in, you can say it's the sign number 1, 2, 3. Even though it says where you are, it's a little bit difficult for folks to have to get out of their car to go look at that and see where they are. So we think that might help with a little bit of identification.
And do you want that sign on Swanee County side to be a number 4, or?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Kinda
Yes.
Isolated, I mean, if you're gonna tell somebody, I'll meet you at the entrance sign on the Swanee County side.
Most folks around here like pictures, you know what I'm saying?
Swanee County actually has 2 entrances, whether you're coming off of 129 or you're coming off of 27, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, But we only got one sign, so
Okay,
is that what we want to stick with one sign?
we'll stick with one over there, I guess.
Yeah,
All right, and I'll add the number 4.
okay.
So your sign says 27 and Parkway, and I heard 37th Drive, which is it both?
It's 37th Drive.
Not Parkway?
Parkway.
I saw that, maybe I didn't see that.
That's Utah.
All right, I'll figure it out.
That's 27 in Utah.
Now, is it identified, is the street location identified correctly there?
I don't know, it's on Parkway.
Three Rivers starts at the top across from the general store. And you're gonna put it where the sign is, this side or this side, you're gonna put it right on that corner?
On
Right,
that side where the stop sign's at.
You'll
Yeah,
see
where
it
the
directly
double
across the
arrows
street.
are.
You'll see it directly across the street.
And the other one,
It's gonna be at the end of Utah down there.
it's gonna be on Utah, not out on
That's what I was
27.
bringing up.
It's gonna be on 27 in Utah.
Because that's a,
There's gonna be one on 27.
see,
27,
it's not 2 and
27
They're gonna put it on
Oh.
on 27.
Let's pass that around, let the folks out there look at it also.
No, it would be 4 if we decide.
Well, they're gonna be facing this way, so watch when you turn in.
Like where the one is now?
Or is it gonna be when you're drunk coming and say,
I
right?
got it from somewhere. I don't know
That's
if I
not
can-
in.
What's that?
On both sides. So you
Be critical, Tommy, it's all right.
be able to see it.
Well, well,
That's something to think about.
Tom and I are both
You're not just looking at it from one
talking
direction.
about this
We have
number
it all the way
of
on that corner.
Yeah,
What I was offering up is that since there's only one on Swanee County, I want to think Swanee County's number 3.
make it 3.5.
So I'm thinking, if there's only one sign, why don't we just put entrance, Swanee County? And it'd be the Swanee County entrance sign.
Okay,
And instead of putting a 3 there, I don't know. I
it
mean,
doesn't matter to
on-
me,
Yeah, on this side,
and I wasn't,
2 and 3, I think we
yeah.
finally are about the same Columbia County side, but
wasn't degrading Swanee, it was just gonna be a quick look. If you're in a car and you see 4,
number 4.
We're the
why don't we make ours,
redneck
hey, let's,
again.
we'll do Columbia 4 then and make them
and
1.
I'm trying my best. to
It
keep
doesn't
that.
matter.
I know you are, but you know you're gonna hear that.
Why don't we put 4 over here and put 1 over there? It
We
doesn't
like to be
matter.
number 1.
Oh, okay,
Start from that side, work this
okay.
way.
So,
And also, there's
yes,
Where you're putting it off of 27, that's not our property.
yes,
Because that's where the railroad line went, and that's,
yes.
so we're going to need to bring it in.
We're
On the corner
we're
of
fine.
Utah and Roberts.
I talked to Duke Energy and everything's fine.
one was the
Okay. All right.
You gonna put one right there where the ATVs go out, maybe that'd be another entrance?
You mean the one that says?
Okay, so let's get this back in order here. Where are we with the signs now? Is the sign committee coming up with another option here? Because let's get this resolved.
I'm not on the sign committee.
Okay, you just put yourself on there.
I'm just thinking that on the Swanee County side, there's only one sign, no need to number it, so I would just put, maybe if you want to put anything, just put Swanee County under.
That would be fine, I would think. Is there any Swanee County people here? How do y'all like that?
I like that.
I'm okay with it.
Anybody else? Is somebody in the back? Yes? You good with that? Swanee County? You don't need a number? You afraid the number be too far down? Okay.
Wayne says he's on both sides and he likes it
Okay,
too.
all right. So we'll put Swanee County entrance. That'll be fine.
We all know Swanee
think that's
County's
good.
#1 anyway, right?
Okay, so
Okay, and also they're gonna, put on this entrance sign right on here.
yes,
They're gonna try to put the number there, if there's enough space without too much,
yeah, there is some room to do that there. So
so they'll have a number 1 on it.
if they'll create it in the same image as all the other numbers, then they'll all be consistent, and folks will be able to quickly find it.
Um,
Okay,
while we're just on the subject, there are two entrances to the Swanee County side.
It's
actually three.
It's actually three, one on 129, two on 27.
I know. But that other one, you know.
Why don't we
Let's just have two.
why don't we do, let's do this. Let's start with this.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and then we will, if it creates an issue or problem, we'll create another one and another one.
I'm
if we
glad
need
you all
to.
are flexible.
Okay, so is that your report, everybody,
No, I
board
got
members?
more.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
This,
more.
now this Swanee County sign is a little bit smaller.
Oh,
These
Oh.
others are 8 foot wide,
Oh.
this is only 5.
Right?
So I want y'all to be aware of that, so you don't.
why is that? Why is that?
And I had no input
Took
there.
out, and left it 4 by 8.
Oh, I see what you're
Took out the
saying.
map, it would
Oh,
look
so we
something.
had no map.
No,
Yeah.
you have no map.
I don't have a map.
If you-
Well,
if you're
maybe we
free-
want
If
one.
you give me a map, I'll have it put on there.
Okay, what do y'all think? Did you see
It's only
this?
been a year.
I seen
You know
this
what I'm saying?
before.
Only been a year, so.
Did you see no map? Are you okay with that?
The way this world's going, there may not be a Swanee County or a Columbia County if we don't hurry up and get this done.
Well, let's hurry up
There,
and
there
get
is,
started.
there is the plat for that, that is available, but your artist would have to do a little bit of work to get it colored in and all.
Well, depends if y'all want to spend the money. I don't know what it costs, but, it's additional cost.
Okay, so the sign committee's done a great
They
job.
have done a great job.
So are the Swanee County folks happy with that, or do you need more?
Are we happy with that? Are we happy with what we got right now?
How much, how big of a map is, of Three Rivers is that?
It looks just like that one. Both sides are approximately the same in land mass.
And most of the people over there, I mean, land mass is about. the
One
same
has about
size.
1,800 and the other one has about 1,700 lots.
I say we put it on
Swanee's
there.
got more
where you can-
wetland.
Where you can pinpoint the park there.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and do, if that's the case, if everybody wants to do that, board members, I'm ready to move this on. So, well, let's go ahead and print what you got, except for that one, and we'll fix it.
Yeah. We want the park and the ramp on ours too.
What do you want me to do now?
I want you
I'm
to,
easily confused.
I want you to listen very carefully. Print the first two signs
Yeah.
for this side, and let's get them going. We'll work on the artwork to fix the Swanee side for the highway. That'll be Swanee entrance. And then we'll come back later, and if there's no more, if there's confusion as to where they are, we'll work on the second and third signs there. And that way we can move on with this and get something going.
And go ahead and put the map on it too.
Yes. Are we comfortable with that?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, so we don't really need a motion for that, so you pretty much, we are all agreeing.
I'll motion to.
We don't need a motion. We've already approved moving forward with the signs. We just wanted you to see it. Everybody's,
Just so y'all know, I'm gonna tell you the amounts that we're spending so far.
oh gosh, okay.
For the entrance to the Columbia County side, it's about $1,200
Okay,
for both of those signs. And
okay. Those are metal signs, is that correct?
Just like.
With vinyl,
all the
okay,
other
all right,
ones
good.
are. If we did the Swanee County sign at the same time, that would be an additional $403.
Okay,
But now we're gonna do them separate, so it's, might be more. I don't
be
know.
about 600 then, based on what you just said, so,
We're gonna add stuff to it, so it's gonna be more expensive anyway, so.
Right,
Yeah, that's true, it will. Be a bigger sign,
Yeah.
right.
4 by 8.
okay.
Okay, now, moving on, I've got, y'all noticed the sites, they've got a little dirt put in there. And I've got a mound of dirt at each site. And we propose to put the sign at the top of the mound, but this mound needs to be shaped up a little bit. So, I was hoping John would be here and see if the maintenance people would give us a price on shaping up the dirt. And also, we're gonna have to landscape it after the sign's put in. And, you know, that takes a little effort too, because, although you put the landscaping in, you gotta keep it watered. And, so, I don't know how to proceed with that. Maybe
We probably need to talk with somebody that knows something about plants and things that don't need a lot of water, that might be maybe more of a natural.
I got something
Yes.
to say about that. Me and Bonnie talked about that. Hiring Pamela Thomas, putting her in charge of doing the landscaping around the signs.
I don't think we need to hire anybody,
Well,
probably.
putting her in charge of it, from what that's what we were saying.
Okay.
You know that with the Three Rivers gardening crew,
Yeah.
they want to do the landscaping for us.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's Pamela Thomas.
So we would reimburse them for plants that they buy and materials that they buy, but their labor, from what I understand, is free.
Well, let's open up a little bit of discussion on that, because you could, I'm sure they're really good at what they do, but these sites are kind of isolated. So there could be out of sight, out of mind. They could be the wrong kind of plants. Not that they wouldn't. I'm sure they're good, but you need to have something that's very tolerant. So, yes, Hilda.
I don't know if you all know this, but I'm a landscape architect. Essentially, what I would recommend is no planting. The signs are very pretty. Anything you put up there, you can tell how much maintenance your crepe myrtles and your Lord Petalum are taking right now, because really crepes have to be exposed to the sun in the morning, and these guys don't get it. So there's lots of complications with these pretty signs. Why do you need plants?
So basically, they need really some ground cover to protect the soil from
Right.
erosion.
Or mulch,
Yeah.
or just, you know.
Maybe
A nice
maybe a few
location
couple
for
big
the
rocks or
sign.
something we could
Yeah,
put there to
that's-
anchor the hill. Okay. All right.
Well, let's
Okay.
go for thoughts on that, and we can bring it up again later. Right now, goal was to get those two signs.
All right, Tommy, we're going to nail your
Chairman,
signs
we need to
today.
Maybe establish a limit on this, on
Yeah.
each place, and then we can still.
All right.
at that point decide what needs to go.
Let's get the signs done and get them in place and get the ground stabilized to prevent erosion, and then we'll have some more
But I
meetings
still
and
need
resolve
to
that.
doctor the dirt a little bit,
Okay?
so, I don't know if we want.
I've got a couple shovels if you need them.
I don't know how to use a shovel.
You want to make it any need to be down there.
They're almost
down there
new.
with my little tractor.
Yeah, they've never been used.
Anytime.
Okay.
You want to make a day, I'll come down there and dig my little tractor.
You ain't using them.
Or you get mine on the other one.
Tommy, I got a little vibratory compactor you might could use on that too, if you want to, when you're down there with
Bring
me.
it on there.
Okay. All right, so we're good with the signs. You're good to go, right? Board members, are you all in agreement? Okay,
So
so,
about when will the signs be erected?
well, we started a year ago. I have a feeling that as soon as Tommy gets these things printed, which the material should be fairly easy, just a piece of metal and some vinyl, right?
Well, and the 4x4 posts and all that.
Okay, so
Do you have
how long did they tell you it would
a
take to print?
No, I don't, because everything is up in the air.
Okay.
Now I got
Okay,
firm,
Okay.
I got a shovel I can deal with.
so it shouldn't take them more than, say, 2 or 3 weeks to produce them?
Depends on the sign company. I wouldn't think it'd take more than that.
Okay, all right. Shouldn't take long then.
One of the
Should be-
employees at the sign company actually is on Swanee, lives on Swanee Sign.
There's a volunteer then, that's what you need to.
Get done first.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else on the signs? We're good to go? Terry, you have anything else? I know you were doing communications and maintenance and president's work. You have anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, so we'll move on then to Park Committee report. Tommy?
Mr. Chairman, I've got a number of items here that need to be decided upon to finish up, to complete the park manager's position. And I can do this one or two ways. We can go one by one and approve them, or I can try to group it all together and approve it, hopefully approve it as one motion.
Okay.
What's your?
How many points do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7.
Okay. Why don't we just do it one?
Now that I'm off of this committee, I can go pretty fast now, so.
Okay. Okay.
Which would you prefer?
I'm going to leave that up to you, Mr. Trammell.
All right, as you know, the park manager's position and the job description have already been approved by the board. We need to decide on the chain of command. My motion would be that a chain of command for the park manager's position be established, which places the president of TREPO as the first direct supervisor of the park manager. The second position in the chain of command would be the chairman of the board. And any questions or disputes as to the supervision or authority of the park manager would be decided by the board. I can make that a motion if you want to discuss that. Or you want to go ahead?
Let's just go ahead and have that as one of the items. We may do all these at one, okay, because I don't see.
Second item, base pay. The salary of the park manager be set at a minimum of $18 per hour. Any increases in that amount must be approved by the board.
How many hours?
Getting to that. Next
Okay.
item.
Is that number 3, the next item?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got 1 and 2, which is pretty good there, okay?
All right, hours/days. The schedule of hours and days worked will be decided by the president. That the hours be set at a minimum of 10 hours per week, with the president of TREPO having the authority to increase the weekly hours on an as-needed necessary basis up to a maximum of 40 hours per week upon consultation with the chairman of the board. Any hours worked by the park manager above the maximum of 40 hours per week must be approved by the board on an as-needed necessary/necessary basis. That's the end of that one. The next one is process for applying. That a system for applying for the position of park manager be established that allows for the application through and by way of the TREPO website. So that in that case, Charlie, whomever he gets to help him with, and needs help, would set it up on the website so that the application could be made directly through the website. Now,
I can make that happen, no problem.
okay, and whether you copy it off and then send it in, I guess I could do one or the other, or in some
I
cases.
just have it where you fill out the form and hit submit.
That's what I wanted to hear, great. Okay, the next one is, as it relates to recommendations for the position of park manager, that the chairman of the board be given the authority to appoint a committee to interview and review all applicants and applications. The committee will then make a recommendation of the applicant to the board. The board will then make the final decision. That's that one. There also needs to be a deadline for applications. We're thinking that 30 days for the deadline on the applications and 45 days to finalize it. That would be 45 days finalization.
Tommy, since that deals with personnel, do you think that would be a closed meeting with board members to review applications?
That'd be the pleasure of the board, but, you know, the committee.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I know that's what we used to do whenever we were hiring, because it's nobody else's business about a person's qualifications and everything else. And trying to get a job.
That's a good point, and that would be a recommendation, and I would include that as part of.
That would be the committee that's going to
committee.
review. So, and as you mentioned that, you had mentioned on number 6 that the chairman would appoint the committee members. I'd like to keep the committee down to 3, and I'd like to ask the president and the chairman of the Park Ranger Committee and myself be the 3 members that review applications.
May I get off the sign committee then?
Yes, you didn't do too good there.
I wasn't very good on that anyway, so.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 7.
All right, the next one and last one is, of course, background / criminal history check. And as part of the application process, criminal history will be conducted on the finalist applicant for the applicant prior to the recommendations of the board. In other words, once the committee is prepared to make their recommendation, instead of doing the background on everybody that's being interviewed, it would come down to the finalists. The finalists would be offered up as a recommendation to the board upon having the criminal history and background check done.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay, board members, you've heard the report from the committee. You've got 7 items. I can run through those real quick. President, chairman is who the park ranger would report to. President first, $18 an hour wage would be the starting wage. 10 hours per week, not to exceed 40 hours. Of course, we do recognize that there are times there may not be any hours. The 40 hours is only on an as-need basis. Basically, it's seasonal. We project no more than, just looking at the season, we project that no more than 20 hours per week in an entire year would be maybe even a high number. It just depends on what we discover. There are some in the job application too, Tommy. I think there were some other duties other than a park ranger would also be the eyes and ears of safety issues, just spotting things that they see in parks, listening and talking to members, having a rapport with members as to things that are issues that we normally don't see, but we hear about it as a complaint later. Hopefully they can resolve things and tighten things up for the board. Application would be on the website. The committee would be the chairman of TREPO, the president of TREPO, and the chairman of the Park Ranger Committee. Deadline for the application to be opened would be 30 days and 45 days to have a selection made. Once that person is to be recommended to the board, then there would be a background check on that individual.
So the background check, are you gonna have drug testing?
That's what I said.
That's up to the board.
I definitely would.
So do you want to take that?
I can include
Yeah, I
that.
think that we had talked about that, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes. Answer the question.
Tom, I agree with Bill. We should do the background, the drug testing and make sure that that interview is closed.
Yeah, we included that.
Yes.
Right, that the interview's closed. And something that, I don't have the job description in front of me, maybe I do, but it's included in the job description. The person must live within the boundaries of Treehouse, so that they can respond when needed. They don't have to drive so far to get here. And I think it's only fair.
Okay, board members,
Well, you can do an FDLE background check by paying the money. I don't know what it is now. It used to be about $23. I think it's probably upwards close to 40 now.
But you only not gonna do it to one person.
One person. That's the
Hopefully.
reason.
But FTLE doesn't get you everything.
I'm sorry?
The FTLE doesn't get you everything.
No, it gets you SCIC, but you can't run NCIC, but you can run, if you choose to do so, you can run, have an independent company run it for you. And that may be something you want to consider as well. Obviously, you want to check FDLA sexual offender file, which is easy to do, anybody can do that. So, but those are all things that should be included, but it may be that we, in order to get NCIC, which is not readily available, they don't easily give that out, but if you need those, there are people who do this for a living, their companies do backgrounds, they can give you the civil side, criminal side, you name it.
Check with the youth organizations, that's what they do. They use like you said, a company
Yeah.
that runs their background checks because they got in trouble several years ago.
so would that be something that the school system, a system that some the school system would use? Would that be strong enough?
Well, I mean, if you want to do full nationwide, then we're probably going to utilize someone like LexisNexis or some other company that has done major searches throughout the nation. FCIC would get through FDLE.
Okay, so,
I think that should be left up to the committee.
Yeah,
at the time.
okay.
move on and
And then we'll
let
make
the
that
committee worry
recommendation
about
to the
that.
board once we clear through all that. So we'll take care of those details in the best interest of the board, if y'all agree with that. Everybody good with that? Okay, so you've heard the 7 points that are being recommended by the Park Ranger Committee, so what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion we approve Tom's 7 points of, however you want to put that.
It's the committee, yes.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion by Charlie, second by Rick. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll
Thank you.
go forward with that and get that done. Goal is to have this in place by Memorial Day, right? Maybe we could do it a little bit sooner if possible. That way the person's not thrown out to the wolves on day one. So, Charlie, you have any updates on the camera security?
Everything's going pretty good. I got several boxes of stuff to install right now. Waiting on some stuff to come off back order as always, but hey, it's moving along.
Okay, so
Everything in position.
the first location we're gonna hit, or the next location is
I'm putting parts together now for Midpoint.
Midpoint, okay? All right, and we're working out the internet and the power there, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so that'll be the first one, and then we'll be moving to Point Park.
Point.
And, okay. All right. Any questions of camera security?
On those newsletters, have we ever publicized that we've got the cameras and then should we let everybody know, hey, we got cameras out there?
So they can be vandalized.
Oh, boy.
She ain't wrong.
We'll leave that to the writers and let them decide how to do that. That's fine. Let it be a surprise. Okay? All right.
I'll get
so-
you it signed, Tom.
All right, so there's nothing more with the
I'll
camera
give you the
security,
sign.
is that right? So just go back to the spring picnic, Terry, just to reiterate, John's out, who's handling the food?
Well, me and Bonnie's gonna go to Sam's and get all the stuff. Me and Vicky looked at the list. I'm gonna call John tomorrow and talk to him about, if he'll call the guy and see if we can pick it up, if he's not gonna be able to. And I might have to have a man help me go get it. And because we'll have to keep it in the coolers overnight, ice down,
Okay,
fish.
And I think Bond is picking up supplies at Sam's.
okay. So, and we're good with that, and reiterate the price is $8.50 and $4, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all gonna have to cook it, right?
Good one.
Yeah, the fish.
That's the man.
No, I think we have a team that does that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All the guys, yeah, we'll take
He's
care
on
of it.
that committee. Mr. Trammell's on that committee. So you
Yeah,
got
that one
three
too.
people
I'm
working
a
with
committee
you.
man.
Okay.
Tony's on another committee.
Okay, I think we're doing pretty good on time. It's 2 minutes until 8, and we did say we wanted to try to finish up around 8. Didn't I say that? Okay. We'll move on to new business. Is there any new business? No new business. We'll move on to old business. Any old business? I think we covered a lot of old business tonight. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the board? Yes,
Along with
And what
this-
is your name, please?
Mary Terry.
Mary Terry.
I live
I just
on-
asked so that
I live
folks have your
on
name.
Copperhead Lane. Along with the whole camera security, the vandalism, along those same lines, I realize we have a lot of the Airbnbs, vacation rentals. I have a problem with that, but their guests being allowed to enter our parks. That's where I think we're having a problem with a lot of extra traffic inside the parks and in groups. So there has to be some kind of way we can limit their access, because they're paying the same price I'm paying, but all the people that rent their cabin or whatever, they come for free. Does that make sense? I have to pay to get in, but these people rent a house and they get to come and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a little difficult. I mean, I could have.
I'm
10
just saying it's a lot of
10 or
extra
12.
traffic, and folks
I-
come to town because they have
I hear you.
relatives or whatever that live
Right.
here. Maybe not necessarily in Three Rivers, but because they come for vacation, they now have access to our springs and our parks, and they call their family, their friends. They have the key, so they're able to get in. but they're bringing all their extra people with them.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a lot of extra traffic. There should be some way we could separate that.
Yeah, I don't know, board members, how you would separate
I have a
that.
question.
We have
Yes,
limit per person, like.
12.
12, yeah.
Well, without board approval.
That doesn't, I'm just saying, I was a gate reader for quite a few years, and it doesn't happen that way.
Well,
There's
this is where-
lots of times that I've seen groups of 30 come off of the
This is
river.
why we were talking about the park ranger, that, you know, if you're the gatekeeper, that they could come in and you could, call the park ranger to stop them from coming in.
Well, this would be I would be like at Point, and they're actually coming off the river, so they're getting in before I actually get to see them. And how that's happening, I think some of that may have to do with, at Hodar, have a separate entrance for the canoes
Well,
and the kayaks.
yeah, Mary, let me address that though. I mean, any person on the river here could bring 50 people through their property and put them on the river. Wouldn't like that, but they could do that. Anybody could. Hilda, you could do that. You wouldn't do that though. Tommy, you could do that. I don't know how we would stop that. There's a lot of folks that actually enter the park through various different means. Lots of groups do. We've been working really hard to try to stop it at the front entrance. It's slowed down a little bit from what it used to be, but I don't know the real answer to how to get to that. It's going to take a lot of work.
Well, I mean, I understand if somebody's gonna pull somebody and bring them through their property.
Right, but when you see that, I mean, I've actually had, I have to admit, I've actually had 20 or 25 family members for a birthday party at my house. We've all jumped in the river and gone to the end.
Right.
So I hope I didn't break too many rules.
Well, no,
but
I'm just saying, I mean, there has to be some kind of happy medium where we can slow down some of the traffic
and I
from the
think your point,
Airbnbs
your
that aren't
point's
even,
well taken.
you know.
And so to be able to recognize that, I don't know, Terry, if
If I
that's
can pay
something
$100
that,
for
if I don't know if that's
TVs,
something that y'all have looked at from the gates, if y'all are recognizing any kind of a,
Yeah, we have a problem with that, but there's no way to stop it. What we're gonna have to do is stop the Airbnbs.
yeah.
That's the only way
They're
we're
not
gonna
supposed
stop
to be
it.
here anyway.
Not supposed to
I
be
mean, I'm not trying to make
here.
anybody lose their income, I get that, but there's lots of springs in the area that they can go visit without them having access to our private parks. And these people are advertising our private parks on their website, on their places when they're advertising their Airbnbs or their cabins. They're advertising you have access to all 9 private parks.
This is
So,
where we're
that's
gonna
bringing
have-
their business.
yeah, we're gonna have to have the county enforce our bylaws and their codes, because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I built my house 29 years ago, I did not get a temporary power pole until I had plans on the house I was gonna build, everything down to the T. The county is letting everybody set up these campers and giving them a septic tank and a power pole, and this should not be going on, because they're not showing no plans for a house and nothing like that. That's the county that's doing this to us. It's not us, it's the county.
Okay, Vicki.
Also, as a gatekeeper, on many occasions, we were instructed that when you had a group come through, of course, we write down the key number and how many people are coming through. If there was a group of more than 12, we told them that, or that's what we were trained to do, is to tell them we could not allow more than 12 people in at this time. Some of them would have to wait. And members know that. We've put it on the website. It's been in the instructions in the newsletter that if you're going to have a party or you need more than 12 people to have access to the river, they have to come to the board for approval.
Maybe we can do this going forward. If all of our gatekeepers that are seeing people come through, maybe we could get a little bit more science behind it to determine and keep a log up of those points. In other words, I know I've got this rental here's got this. I've got this. Then we can really see exactly what the problem is. And see where it's coming from, and we can take those numbers and go back and look at it.
So you need to identify the key numbers then for those rental places and keep counts of those. Tornado's about to have a count.
Well, I will just a second. Okay. Yes, John.
There's a very simple way of helping that problem, is anyone renting is to give the name of who's going to rent and how many on that key. And if we had those every weekend, or whenever they're a week or a month, whatever their rental is, and we'd log those in, we'd have control.
That's interesting.
It's done in most of the other places, check it
Okay.
out.
All right, so I'm going to kind of open this up right now to let a few folks, if it doesn't get out of control, but if it does, I'm going to stop it real quick, and then we're going to go home. Yeah, Jesse?
So I suggest you guys as a board read the Florida statutes changes every year, because in the statutes, this actually changed now. You guys can control Airbnbs, you can set bed fees for them, you should check all that out. 720s, new
Okay.
720s.
All right, thank you.
Also, I'm wondering when y'all are gonna let us know what, the election's gonna happen, who's running, who's not running, when we're gonna have some applications put in. Nothing's been mentioned about that at all. This is an election year.
Yeah.
That's y'all's duty as a board.
Well, actually, the elections,
I'm
Jesse.
still talking.
Yeah, what I'm going to tell you, Jesse, just, you're through, okay? So stop, all right? Is there any other?
That was really rude. I was sitting there
It is,
talking.
just stop. I'm not going there. You continue to go down the road and you can stop. Okay, thank you. I got your point.
But I'm
Do
not
we have
gonna
anybody
talk.
else? Yes.
Yes, I'm a board member, and I would like to know which of the board members are going to be running for office in October, and all of our officers. And when are we going to address that? The day before the election?
I don't think so. We'll take care of that. So we'll have a
Mr. Hunter, we need to do it quickly.
okay. When do you want to do it?
I think we should start the next meeting to find out who is running on the board and ask at the fish fry that we have people that are interested in running for the board or an officer, that they should apply at that and give us a little resume so we would know if we have, I don't know if we have people here that are gonna wanna take a board seat.
Okay, so what we'll
After
do,
all the problems we've been having.
we sure have, that's for sure. So what we'll do, I think each time we have like a slate of 6 and we have a slate of 5. And I think our officers run each time, is that correct?
Every 2 years.
So every 2 years, the officers run. So typically, I think the last election, was it 5 that ran, or was it 6?
5.
So we'll have 6 run this time. So we'll have that number of the folks that are up for election at the next board meeting.
Good.
And then we all know that the officers will run anyway. So that answers that question. So, yes, sir.
I have nothing to say about the board meeting. I have no idea. I have a dog in that race. I'm getting back to this key deal. On the I know there's a problem, but on the opposite side, there's people like me. I paid my key fee for 11 years. I've been in that water 3 times in 11 years. My daughter's in it once every other year. So I know that you're overcrowded, but there's a lot of people like me. I pay it, and I'm never in it. So you got to look at both sides of the fence there, because as far as I'm concerned, I have absolutely no benefit to it, but I pay the $100 to keep the machine going. So, I appreciate what you all do, but, there's a lot of people like me that pays and gets no benefit out of it. But,
Well,
look
you,
at
Mr.
both
Shaw?
sides.
We appreciate that, Mr. Shaw, but it
I'm
actually...
not Shaw, this
You're
is
not-
Son Hall.
Oh, okay, all right. So, but actually, those dues pay for what it costs to manage and
I
maintain and
understand
keep
that. That's
everything
why
up.
I've
So,
always paid.
and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, Skip.
I think you ought to put a time frame, 90 days. Your October meeting is the annual membership meeting. Your nominations and elections, or whoever's running, a 90-day period. I don't think you need to start 6 months in advance about who's going to run and who's going to run. 90 days is more than enough time.
Yeah, we never have started all of that this time. That was just a suggestion by a board member. We will actually have available the positions that would be up for election. And then I think sometime near the end of the summer, that time is when the process starts. And they'll start taking the, what is it, resumes or whatever.
That's not even 60 days.
So, the election's in October, so we'll back it up September, August, and July. So we're about 90 days, about June, July. So that should be good. All right, is there anything else?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, just one
Yes.
question. I understand what you're saying, and I've had a problem with it myself, but do you have a solution? Do you have anything you can offer up other than Airbnb?
I don't have a solution. I think if people everybody could just get together, mull around the heads, and then throw some ideas out at each other, that there's got to be some type of solution. you know, a different set of keys, I mean, because the owners should have access to the parks, you know.
Well,
I agree with that 100%, but I don't agree that they should be making money off of our parks that we're all paying to maintain. You know, because the folks they're bringing in, they don't pay for any of that maintenance or any of the upkeep. And that may be where some of our vandalism comes in during the summertime.
Well, Mayor,
I
your
mean,
point,
our rivers are just as bad
your
because-
points are well taken,
know.
and we do need to take a look at it. We just haven't been having to deal with so much other stuff.
Oh, sure, I mean.
But
you
now
know,
that things have calmed down pretty well now. So going forward, I think that we can start working on those issues. We can have these conversations and see if there is a solution to
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure
because
I'm
I
sure
don't
there is, you
disagree
know. I don't think any
at all.
one person has it. I think it's
Right.
take a combination
Yeah.
of everybody.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Susan, and I have two questions. One, I thought they weren't supposed to be Airbnbs in Three Rivers. So, yes or no?
Yeah, they've been here for probably 20 years. And I don't know the process for resolving that. So it is going, if that is the direction that the community wants to go, and they want to bring folks together to start addressing this board, that they want to stop rentals or stop Airbnbs, then that would be something they would need to bring to the board. We'd have to find a process that would deal with that. But right now, we've had so much else to deal with to get ourselves back on track financially, to fix up our parks, to make sure that everything's whole. But yes, that could be something. Yes, Skip?
You do have that solution already, because it says that an owner has to be present
Exactly.
for 12 members. You can make some type of the board could make some type of an arrangement with the Airbnb people who register with the board or with the association, that they would pay a different fee because they are a business, they're utilizing as a business, and you could also come up with some solution where they either have to submit who their renters are for next weekend to some committee or whatever entity that is maintaining it, that you would know who's there in that's renting that unit.
So primarily what's, and I think we're not supposed to give our key to somebody to use.
Right.
And so that's actually what's really happening.
Right. And it happens
So,
every day,
and
all
so
day.
that's where you're pulling that from, yes.
All we need to figure out is how to enforce the rule that we already have, that you have to bring your guests to the park, you have to be there with them. These people renting out Airbnbs are not gonna be there with their renters, so they shouldn't be allowed in unless the owner of the property brings them.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask, do we have to go to the board and ask if I could take my tractor down to the campgrounds and smooth it all out and throw some grass seed so we can actually use it again? Because it's all so hilly and everything, you can't put a tent.
Where is this?
Camping park.
Campgrounds, one of our parks, the park campground.
I would rather you didn't do that, but if you, I'm not aware of the problem. So,
It's all hilly. If you were to put, it's like when it was muddy, everybody drove through it, so you couldn't actually put a tent down. It's so everywhere.
so what is your name?
Susan Nance.
Susan, you camp down there?
No, I can't. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh,
You can't.
okay.
You can't. So I wanted to take my
Okay.
tractor.
No, I
could
appreciate
drive your
that.
tractor, go down there and smooth it out and
Yeah.
throw some grass seed down so it's a camping area.
So why don't
instead of-
we do this? We've got some other work that needs to be done with someone who's coming in to do a prep a site for one of our buildings.
Okay.
So Terry, why don't we get them to go there? They've got some compactors. They can actually compact it tighter.
I don't mind
So
volunteering doing stuff like that.
I would ask you, that's a big park, so how much area are we talking about? So if maybe that's something, I know you're here, you
Yeah.
probably could get with Susan,
Yeah.
and y'all could look at that, because that, I agree with you. If they've been mudding through the
Yeah,
park there, we
it
need
is.
to, okay.
What is it? There's big old white ruts where people drive down in there. I've been
Okay.
down in there before.
Okay, so why don't we work to repair that?
Why don't we wait
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
fishing park?
When were the
Well-
keys mailed?
They've been mailed consistently through the whole period. Are you missing some keys?
came 6 weeks ago.
No,
and I
Dr.
have
King
no
checks,
key.
they've been mailed.
No key. 10:42.
Yeah. Well, I'm never, I'm never your keys. No, I can do
You calling me names?
Okay.
it.
All right.
What is your key number?
10:42.
Okay, so we're going to, the next meeting will be on April 12th. Can I have your attention, please? The next meeting will be on April 12th, and the picnic is on April the 9th. And we have a motion to
adjourn?
to adjourn. Second, okay, we're gone. Thank you.
As
Hey, Mary,
secretary.
that's,